Enthusiasm. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see if this one works. I'm gonna give you guys
Vita continua.
Ah, here it is. Enthusiasm.
Un uomo diventa importante, ci
This
si
is gonna
aspetta
be
che
us
abbia degli
in Italy
entusiasmi.
later this year. This is the theme.
Entusiasmi. Entusiasmi.
It's gonna be me, Martin, Goody,
Quali sono i miei?
Rolexes.
Che cosa attira la mia ammirazione? Che cos'è la vita che mi dà gioia?
Espresso, honeys, Monaco,
Baseball.
table, cigars, enthusiasm, Pellegrino,
Entusiasmi.
enthusiasm. Like gentlemen. Come on, Naeem!
Cosa attira la mia ammirazione? Che cos'è nella vita che mi dà gioia? Entusiasmi.
You ever see the GQ cover shoot with George Clooney and what's his name? Brad Pitt, Naeem? This is the song they got playing behind it. Gentlemen. The gentleman. Alright, gentlemen. Now we got That's how you guys some rich motherfuckers.
Entusiasmi.
Enthusiasm. You hear that, Naeem? Once you start laughing like that, you know you're rich. If you're not laughing like, ha 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 ha, ha, you're not rich enough, Naeem. You're not rich enough. All right. Fire. Naeem said fire. What language is it? Enthusiasm. I don't know. Look it up. Spotify it. Shazam it. Oh, mi bomba. I got the fucking Mr. Producer going crazy. All right, gentlemen. Today's lesson, and I'm getting back to work. I'm getting back to war. Back to the money printer. Leveraging relationships to win. Do you know how to do that? Do you understand the importance of networking, developing Bomba clot, that Pellegrino. Developing relationships with people who can help you actually win? Do you know how to leverage these relationships? The reason I ask is because many times we may have the greatest business ideas. We may have the greatest intentions, desire, will to win, want to accomplish something, but we just don't have the right tools to be able to execute or develop that product, service, or business, company, website, whatever it may be. We just don't have the tools ourselves. Well, this is the point of being in a network and being able to leverage relationships. If you actually build yourself up to an individual who's worthwhile having around and worthwhile being friends with in the eyes of other successful people, now you can actually develop relationships in a way where then you can leverage those relationships in order to do what? To make money, to create new businesses, to execute on new ideas. When you have no relationships with anybody who's meaningful or anybody who's worthwhile being friends with, guess what? All your friends do, all you can do to leverage your relationship is, hey, what fucking bar do you want to go to this weekend? What fucking, what government assistance check are you getting on? Or, where did you go to get your Social Security? Or where'd you go to get your disability check? That's what you and your buddies are talking about. Hey, what loan did you use and like how much, like where can I get a loan? And like stupid shit like that. You want to leverage, you want to be able to make friends and leverage relationships with individuals who can actually help you accomplish things. This was a great example from just this past couple of weeks when I started developing a new, you could say business, but a new way to make money. An idea that I got from a good friend of mine who's also very successful, incredibly successful, much more successful than you could imagine. Young, talking to him. Okay. He has an idea, put something together. I say, all right, let me actually work on a different aspect, a different side of this idea, and develop a second way to make money with it. Okay. Now I have the idea. I know how to execute. I know how to market it. I know how to make it make money. I just need to know, or I need to find somebody who can help me actually execute the development of this project, the technical, the logistics of it, the coding, the software. Who can I call? Who can I reach out to? Well, it turns out many different people that I have in my network that I know close to me have been able to help in their own unique ways in launching and developing this project that we have. And if it wasn't for my network, if it wasn't for my own success, my own self-development, my own mindset, my own level of competence that I've shown time and time and again, that these people have bought into, that these people respect me enough to be friends with me, to then trust me to go ahead and develop this product or service, I can do business with them. I can leverage those relationships and get access to knowledge I didn't previously have access to. Get access to brain power, to manpower that I previously didn't have access to. And then, after I developed the core group and pulled together the core group to actually work on this product, the strategy that we're developing, I then went out further into my network to find individuals who could do the logistics, the programming, the coding of what we wanted to do. How did I do that? Reach out to previous girls I had dated. Reach out to individuals I had gone to university with. Found my way into a couple other universities, a couple other networks, a couple other different people through friends of friends. And because of my reputation, because of the impression I've left on these people in the past, they were willing to vouch for me. They were willing to put me in contact with these individuals without hesitation, and therefore getting access to information and people who can help me develop the parts of the project that I myself cannot physically develop. Not that I can't do it, I can do anything, but that I don't have the time to learn and educate and then figure out how to do that, as opposed to just reaching out and contracting out to somebody who already knows how to, right? So you have to learn how to leverage relationships. If you're not making friends with and pulling yourself up the success and power hierarchy, and you're only friends and continue to only be friends with people who are at your level or below you or beneath you, you're never going to get out of your situation. You're never going to pull yourself up and out of your current level of success, your current level of comfort, and experience anything new and experience anything more than what you've already had, because you don't have access to the people who can actually help pull you up, pull you out. Most people, their friends, the people that they engage with, as much as you might like them personally, as much as you might have fun hanging out with them, they provide zero value to your life from a vertical, in a vertical ascension perspective, in a vertical move up through the political, financial, and social hierarchy. They can't provide you any guidance, any assistance, any value, because they don't have any value in that sense, in that world. So you have to take it serious to be mindful of developing these relationships with people who are more successful than you or elite in their own respective fields, so that eventually when opportunity presents itself, number one, they think of you and including you, and for the opportunities that you develop for yourself, you can include them and they can help you in achieving those goals. So I'm very cognizant myself of developing these relationships and of staying close to those who are highly successful and not burning any bridges. Listen, we might not do business together anymore. We may have different trajectories in life. We may have gone one path versus another. But if somebody's elite at what they do and they're trying their best to be elite in their industry and their field, I'm going to maintain and develop that relationship, because at some point that person will help me achieve more. At some point that person may come to me with an opportunity that's worthwhile me being involved with. That's network. That's being in the game, right? I don't go to my friends who don't care about money, about opportunities to make money, because I know they don't care. I know they're not going to want to or care to invest into it. They don't think that way. That's fine. But I have a group of individuals that I communicate with the most and on a daily basis for example, inside the Taylor's Code, obviously, where anything and everything that we ever talk about is about making money, an opportunity to make money. Okay? So you don't want to be the guy that people are friends with just because you're a good time at the bar, and when you go get fucked up, you're a clown and everybody fucking laughs at you and you're that funny guy, blah, 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 that don't give a fuck about his life. You don't want to be that friend for other people, because though they may bring you around for entertainment, they're never going to bring you around for opportunity. They're never going to bring you around for an opportunity to make money. They're never going to offer you an opportunity to go do business with them, because in their minds, they don't perceive you as an individual who even cares about achieving at a high level. So you're not a part of those conversations. You can't leverage those relationships. What I'm telling you is incredibly, incredibly important to be mindful of. The relationships that I have for doing business and making money, I keep them strictly that. The number one priority, the number one thing I talk about with these people is how the fuck do we get richer? How the fuck do we make even more money and even more money and then buy a bigger house and then buy a better car? How do we do this? That's all I talk about 24/7 with these people. And in turn, by me having them in my network and me knowing these people, okay, not only can I leverage them for my own success, but they can leverage me for their success. That's the only reason they're willing to have this symbiotic relationship with me. Because now it's not only can I get value from them, because obviously they're successful, they're making money, they're intelligent, but they know that they can use me for the same things. Oh, okay, I've got Priyama on my fucking team. That's an addition, not a subtraction. When I'm on people's teams, they know that I'm going to bring something to the table that wasn't already there. They know I'm going to go. People want me on their team. Why? Because I will fucking go to war for whatever it is that we're working on. It doesn't matter. You need me to do something, it will get done. You don't have to tell me twice. You don't have to tell me, Priyama, like, is it working too much or is it too hard working? No, fuck no. Most people you talk to, you got to worry about if they're going to get burnt out, if they're okay with working on the weekends, or if they want to work late. The guys that I go to work with, we'll be on till 1 a.m. talking about developing this, that, and the third, whether it's a sales script, whether it's a new technology we're going to implement into the business, a different way to make money. It doesn't matter. You can call me whenever, and I'll work on it whenever. Today's Saturday. Give you another great example. The gentleman, we're going to go over one of our friend's house to go see him, talk, housewarming. You know, he just got his new house. And instead of going whenever I would like to go, I said, hey, I'm working. It's Saturday, by the way, Bumbaclot. I'm working till at least 7 o'clock because there are things that I assured people I would be working on and I would be doing, and things that need to get done. Therefore, I'm going to do them before I go enjoy myself. How can I enjoy myself if I'm not a fucking billionaire yet? What is there to enjoy? What is there to celebrate? So the reason I can maintain these high-level relationships with people who are actually executing and achieving at a high level is because they know I'm willing to make the same sacrifices that they're willing to make. What would incentivize me to do business with you if I know you will not sacrifice as much as I'm willing to sacrifice? How does that benefit me in any way? That's how you got to look at it. If you're trying to network upward with more successful people than you, with people who are making more money than you, with people who you want to be around, you got to realize that these people have to see some type of incentive for having you around. Why the fuck would they be friends with you? If you're less successful, less intelligent, or not even, no, that's not true. Not less intelligent, just less successful, less refined, let's say, in just your skill set and your industry, that you're not making the money that they're making yet. Why would they keep you around? Why would they do that? Because they're in the same headspace too. They're trying to network up. They don't want to network down either. So why would they network down? What value are you going to provide to these people? Well, the easiest thing that you can offer somebody who's more successful than you in a relationship, in a friendship, the best thing you can offer without doing anything new, learning anything new, is just be willing to work all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Show that you're willing to put in the time and effort, therefore making up for your lack of experience, your lack of results, your lack of success, your lack of income, whatever it may be. Show that you're at least willing to do whatever it takes. Because if you're coachable and you can learn and you can implement the things that you're taught and you pick up from those people that are around you, you're going to show pretty quickly that he didn't know what he was doing at first, but he worked 24/7 and he kept doing the things that I said to do, produced some results. He got better. He educated himself. He provided some value. All right, let's keep this guy around. Next project, next opportunity, I want to reach out to him because I know he'll get the fucking job done. The last thing I want to do is do business with people who don't get the job done. I don't want to work with you. I don't want to do business with you. I don't care. I have people close to me, not close to me, family, friends. It's so clear the people who are serious about the things they say they're going to do and those who are not. And it is what it is. You can't change them. You can't yell at them. You can't. It is what it is. There are people who are always going to say that they're going to do something, and you know they're never going to do it, and they don't. And then they say they're going to do it again, and then they don't. You can't trust those people. People I can trust, the people I'm going to bring opportunity to, the people I'm going to present ideas to, the people I'm going to bring my plans, my goal, my vision to are going to be the ones that I know it's worthwhile telling because they're going to actually help with the execution of that plan. They're going to help with the vision casting, with the developing of the vision, which is important. You don't want to bring ideas and opportunity to people who are just going to shut it down and say, it's like, oh, that's a bad idea. You can't do that. Or excuse. I fucking hate excuses. I fucking hate excuses. It's so funny. Oh, because of this, because of that person, because of this and that, and then this and that, and this and that. Dude, shut up. Do you want to fucking do it or not? Right? So my point is you got to learn how to leverage relationships with people who are more successful than you, right? I'm not saying network in a way where you seem incompetent or you're like some bitch that isn't capable of doing anything. But at the same time, you have to understand when you're networking up and what is going to allow this person to want to actually befriend me, right? You got to show you have value, you have intelligence, you have opportunity, you have work ethic, and you're willing to do the things required to help this person achieve something. Okay, networking is very selfish. And that's okay to say that. It's absolutely the case. Everybody is a narcissist. Everybody is in it for themselves. Everybody wants to get themselves rich. As much as you might love your friends, your brotherhood, etc., which is real. Those things are real, and those things do hold credence, at least with men, not with women. You still have to be honest about the fact that everything is, to a degree, selfish, narcissistic. Every relationship is transactional, right? I give loyalty and brotherhood to those that I do because, not just for the sake of doing it, but because I'm expecting and I trust that I'm getting the same thing in return. Therefore, it's worthwhile for me to give it. I'm not going to give loyalty and brotherhood to somebody who doesn't bring it back to me. Another great example. I've cut people off in my life that were just that way. I was loyal to them. I gave them brotherhood. I assumed that I was getting the same thing in return. And as soon as I found out that I wasn't, well, then there's no reason to be in this relationship anymore. There's no reason for this partnership to exist because it's no longer symbiotic. It's simply a vacuum of value from one direction to the other. So, again, be cognizant of this. Think about what this other person could gain by being a part of your network, by answering your phone calls, by answering your text messages, by going on the same mission as you. What are they going to gain out of it? It's not about what you're going to gain, okay? If you're networking up, obviously you have something to gain. That's the whole point. You want to network with this person. But they don't want to network with you. They don't want to help you. Why should they? What are you going to offer? Okay? And you'll learn as you get better at this and you actually move up the food chain in terms of income, finance, capital, investment, knowledge, just knowing how to make money. Me, I know how to make money in so many different ways. It's disgusting because that's all I do 24/7. Started in the sales industry, life insurance, learn how to do other things like what? Crypto, LPs, DeFi, collateralizing your assets to be able to go ahead and invest, leverage your position. Like, there's so many different fucking things. Trading bots. There's so many different things that I know how to do to make money, that it allows me to be versatile with my network and who I can leverage relationships with, because I can offer many different opportunities to people, right? Many different opportunities to people to make money. So it's easier for me to network. And then when I have these relationships, I can then leverage them in order to achieve other goals, because maybe they know something, or they know somebody that I can get a hold of that can help me now execute a new idea. I'll give you another great example. The reason your reputation and the way that you work and the way that you carry yourself, the way that you conduct yourself is so important is you never know whenever people are going to come back and bring you an opportunity. Okay? There's a couple of different ways on how people can get lucky. There's 4 different ways. I believe it's 4. I just read this, something Tristan sent me. People only believe one actually exists, but there's actually 4 ways to get lucky. The first way, the way that everybody thinks luck works, is just by pure chance. You just were at the right place at the right time and something happened, you got lucky. That's the first type of luck. The second type of luck, the luck based off reputation. When people bring opportunity to you because they know who you are and what you're capable of. This just happened to me recently. So, open up a brokerage. I have a gentleman that I had mentored and developed in the past reach out to me to make money in crypto. So he comes on board as one of my crypto clients. So I manage his portfolio. Great. As we're speaking about the crypto, turns out he has a health insurance brokerage. He knows who the best in the life insurance deal is. Me, because he's seen me operate and how I operate. He told me, he said, listen, I've still to this day never seen anybody as fantastic as you in the life insurance industry. You know what? I want to open up a life brokerage. I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to bring that opportunity to you. I didn't have to do anything for it. Well, I did do something for it, but in the moment, I didn't do anything for it. I didn't recruit him. I didn't have to try. Just simply based off of my reputation, who I am, what I've accomplished. I got lucky because opportunity was brought directly to me. That's the position you want to put yourself in, is, are people going to bring opportunity to you because they believe in your vision, in your capability, in your ability to help them accomplish whatever it is that they're going to accomplish? Are they bringing opportunities to you? If people aren't bringing opportunity to you, that means they don't see you in a high enough light to where it would be worthwhile to leverage the relationship with you with that opportunity, right? Why would you leverage a relationship with somebody? Because you think they can benefit you in this task, in this business, in this opportunity to make money. That's why you would leverage that relationship with them. Well, you want people to look at you the same way, where when they have an idea, when they have a business goal, a strategy, something they want to try, you want them to look at you and say, oh, fuck, I know Priamo. If I reach out to Priamo, he probably knows somebody who could help with this, or he could help himself, or he could probably give me some type of perspective to help me achieve more sooner because he's done this, right? So this is my point, is you got to be cognizant of these things, because if you're not, you never actually improve. It's so amazing the difference between just normal people and then those that are high achievers. It's so incredible, the stark contrast between the two. It's so obvious for those that are highly successful or highly ambitious, because you can see the high achievers are incredibly intentional with everything that they do. Very intentional, very cognizant of what they're doing and what's happening. While the normal person has zero self-awareness, zero intentionality, zero perspective, zero vision. They just are a feather in the wind, and just whatever happens, happens. And so then these people who achieve nothing or don't go anywhere incredibly far, they wonder, well, how didn't I end up like this person or that person, or rich and have all this? How did that not happen to me? I don't understand. Why isn't my life changing? It's because you're not intentional about it. Growth has to be intentional. It's never going to happen by accident. You're never going to accidentally network your way up to the top. You're never going to accidentally get rich and make more money and increase your income. It's not going to happen by accident. You have to be intentional with it. So the reason I'm bringing all this to your attention is you have to be intentional with developing your relationships. It doesn't just happen by accident. You have to be intentional in the way that you reach out to people that you want to maintain a relationship with, check in with them, provide value. I'll give you a great example. A gentleman that owned a Alkaline 88 big water company, sold it, made a bunch of money. I connected with him in Uber, and we became, I had impressed him with my success at that point. I was like 24 at the time when I met him. I had impressed him with my success, my professionalism, the way that I spoke, my confidence. He could tell I was a fucking savage. Great. Make a connection and get his phone number. I'm talking about media, trying to build my media. Boom, gets me in a connection with an individual who owned a company called, I'm not going to say it actually, but he owned a company in Scottsdale, Arizona, and he was in the Forbes top 30 under 30. Stud, okay? So this individual connects me with this other guy. I go to meet him. He's the CEO of this big company in Scottsdale. Guess what? I walk into the office. I go right into his office. I meet the CEO. I have a private meeting with him, and I get my media done with him for a couple of months, okay? The reason I stopped is because it was fucking charging me so much money, and it was not worth it. But my point is that I was able to leverage that relationship quickly to get to somebody else I never would have met in my life if it wasn't for this connection that I had. What was the other point? Well, how did I provide value to maintain this open line of communication and this relationship with this individual who was 60 years old, on the boards of companies on the New York Stock Exchange? He was on the advisory boards, worth millions of dollars, right? He actually bought a $14,000 life insurance policy for me that I made like 12 grand on. Another incredible. So again, leverage the relationship, right? So how did I keep this open line of communication with him? I would send him articles or information on things that could potentially help him in his business. Did they really? I have no idea. But the point is I was willing to think about him and say, how can I help this guy make money? Because if I can help him make money in any way, or at least show that I'm capable of doing things that could help him make money, it would benefit him to keep me around as a close network or a close partner. You understand? Because now in his mind, he looks at it as, oh, this guy's worthwhile because he helps me make more money. Good. So I would send him articles on shit with water, and what was another article I sent him? It was usually shit with water. I'm trying to think one of the other companies he was on the board of, but I was sending him information on that. And I would say to him, I said, listen, I have no idea if this is going to benefit you in any way at all, but I figured I'd send it to you just in case because it seems worthwhile. And I would just do that, go back and forth with him. So that relationship, that connection ended up making me $12,000. Who knows if there's more money to be made in that relationship down the road? We'll see. Right? But the point is that I'm taking it serious to leverage these relationships. I'm being intentional about it. I'm really thinking to myself, what can I do for this person where they're going to want to help pull me up out of my current situation? See, we're too selfish in the way that we think. We assume, we do two things. We either, one, assume that we're not good enough to get help from people above us, so we just never try, and then we do stay in the same place forever. Bad. Or number two, you could be so arrogant to assume that somebody like me or someone more successful than you just owes it to you to help you just because you asked, or just because you introduced yourself to them, or just because you got their contact information. You just assume that now they should just help you and give you all this juice. But rich people, they don't give a fuck about just talking to you just to talk to you. There's always going to be a fair exchange of value. And as soon as that individual doesn't see a fair exchange of value anymore, especially successful people because they pay attention to these things, they're going to cut you off. They're going to cut you off because there's no reason to. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay? as utopian we want to believe that this world is, nobody's doing anything for this just pure sake of doing something. There's always some type of motive. It's always transactional, which is okay. We just have to be honest about it. Even a relationship with a girl, right? Your girlfriend, it's a transaction. She might love you. You might love her. You might live happily ever after. You might have kids, etc. That's great. But it's still transactional. It's still a motive behind both people and what they're doing. And as soon as those motives are no longer being satisfied, that's when you get divorces. That's whenever you get people to leave each other. That's whenever you get people to break up. Because as much as they may have loved you in that moment, they really believed it. It was purely transactional. As soon as that transaction didn't make sense anymore, as soon as the value was no longer there, guess what happened? It's over. She leaves you. She don't talk to you anymore. She acts like she doesn't even know who you are. She thinks that she was going to be better on her own or with some other guy. Right? You guys have all had that. You break up with a girl. You're together for however long. She's so in love with you. You're in love with her. Everything's amazing. You break up. Acts like you don't even exist. Complete betrayal. But women are loyal to their emotions. There's no true loyalty there from a woman. And it's the same thing with every relationship in life. Okay? The only people who truly love you unconditionally, at least as close as humanly possible to it, are your parents. Outside of your parents, it's transaction. Okay? Increase your network. Leverage your relationships to make money. If you don't, you're going to lose. Outside of that, that's all I got, gentlemen. I'll see you guys inside the Discord. If you're not part of the network, part of the Taylor's Code, making money with us in crypto, e-commerce, AI, trading, etc., click on the link in the description. Join the network. It's $50 a month. You spend $50 at each bar you go to when you go out on a Saturday night. Think about that. 4 times a week. You spend that at a bar in one night. For $50 once a month, you get access to individuals like myself who can show you how to turn that $50 a month investment into tens of thousands of dollars over the course of a year. And that's conservatively if you have no money. More so if you have more positioning power. Okay? So, we'll see you inside the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. Outside of that, Mr. Producer Naim. Enthusiasme. We'll throw it on again. Ready, Naim? You ready?
Sì.
That's how you know Naim. Naim, you'll
Un
know
uomo
we're
diventa
billionaires
importante,
whenever you
ci si
hear me
aspetta
start
che abbia
laughing
degli
like this.
entusiasmi. Entusiasmi.
That's when you know I'm a billionaire.
Entusiasmi.
So, wait, enthusiasm.
Quali sono I miei? Che cosa attira la mia ammirazione? Che cos'è nella vita che mi dà gioia?
Le donne, mangiare, il denaro, il potere.
Baseball.
Bomba glad.
Entusiasmi. Cosa attira la mia ammirazione? Che cos'è nella vita che mi dà gioia? Entusiasmi.